Good evening, everybody. This is Isola with FatalSiren.com. We are actually doing a live podcast today with the cast and writers/producers of Necrolectric, which is a new paranormal webisode series that will actually be airing November. So we're looking very forward to that. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. So we have Eric, Jen, Zach, and Lisa joining us tonight. And so I'm just basically, going to go through some of the stuff. I want you, to really just feel free to speak up and let everybody know what's going on. So to start off with, Jen and Lisa, whoever wants to take this, just give a brief synopsis of the show and what everybody can expect.
Are you looking at me? Okay, I get to see the voice right now. Okay, well, I can just give you the standard stuff that's on the website. Now I'll play it up a little bit. It kind of revolves around Eve, who is this character who mysteriously dies and comes back to life, and she doesn't know why. And over the course of the season, she starts to discover who she really is as she teams up with these two, who are brothers, and they'll tell you a little bit more about their characters in a couple of minutes. And then we also have two other characters, Z, who can touch a dead body and relive the last few moments of their life, and Jax, who can see ghosts. So she teams with all of them to solve a series of supernatural murders, not murderers, and starts to figure out, kind of learn about who she is and why she is the way she is.
Awesome. Yeah, I've actually seen some of it, and it is ridiculously awesome. I can't wait to have more. It's just...
Tell us more. Say more.
Well, come on. You got hot guys, you got hot girls, and you got this great story of just, you get the supernatural, the paranormal, and then it throws in almost like this murder mystery type element, plus you're trying to figure out where all these people are coming from and why this is all happening. So each episode, like and I haven't seen much of it, so I don't know if this is how it's going to continue, but it's almost like, huh?
You've seen the first third of the season, episodes 1 and 2. There's 6 episodes in the first season.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm close. But it's one of those things where it's like cliffhanger after cliffhanger, so it's like, okay, is that how it's going to keep going? Like, do I have to go, oh crap, now I got to wait for another one?
Kind of, yeah.
Like on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I'm already hooked. So, and I think that the rest of the audience will totally be hooked because right now it's one of those really cool types of things that's going on, like you look at all the shows that are out there, they have some type of supernatural, paranormal, mystery type of thing, so it's like this really intriguing, like sucks you in type of story, so I really think that it's going to catch on real quick.
I'm glad to hear that. We hope so too.
That's the plan.
So where did you guys come up with the idea? Like, where did this story come from? Was it based on just, one character in particular, or was it, a bunch of things you were throwing around?
Lisa and I start with characters. Yeah. And what I think, gosh, Kaz's character is the oldest. Because what we often do is a character will just come to us. And we'll kind of pile on until we know how their story's going to play out. So we find other characters to interact with them. And I think Lisa came up with Kaz about 9 years ago now? Actually, 2004. Okay, so a decade ago. When I came up with Kaz, I've been kind of playing around and trying to figure out who he really is, what he really does, and where he came from, and all that. And then I guess Alark was about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. And then I came up with Eve. As you can tell, she tends to come up with the dudes, yeah, and I come up with the girls. Came up with Eve about, I think, 3.5 to 4 years ago, and I remember I sent Lisa an email and I said, I have this character, and the way she came to me, she's telling me I have to kill her, and I don't know what the heck's going on, and we started bouncing ideas back and forth of, well, who might she interact with, what could, and it just it kind of took over from there. It surprised us. It was one of those, as the pieces started falling into place.
I'm like, why don't we throw a lark at her and see what happens?
Yeah, and then, then it just took over, and we were like, oh, wow. We were surprising ourselves with the things that were happening. So that was, I guess we started putting the story together about 3.5, 4 years ago. And then 2 years ago was when it started to come to web series.
Nice. Well, you guys have definitely been busy with the character development. You've at least had enough time to, figure out exactly what you want. And I think that really, speaks for itself when you see the characters, on the screen. You can really tell that there's something there. And once it, keeps going and developing more, you'll definitely be able to see that. So they're definitely really cool characters.
Zach and Eric can tell you that when they got cast, they got a character Bible, and I think Kaz's was what, 10 pages more? I don't even remember how many pages.
23 pages. I have 23 pages of background.
Yeah, that he knew.
Yeah, I wrote 23 pages.
And I think Lark has got about. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have quite as much to say.
Well, a lot of Lawrence was also wrapped up in Kaz. So.
Yeah, some of Kaz's stuff was wrapped in with Lark and vice versa. It was just because they're brothers. He's got a lot of history.
So they know a lot that doesn't even come into play yet, but they
had to know that as the basis so that they could understand why they do the things that they do, and
as the story unfolds.
Right, as the story unfolds.
Right, and that's really important because, I'm sure that we've all seen certain movies at some point or another, or TV shows, where you can tell that, the person who's playing that role really doesn't know where that character's been or is going to be, or, I'm not saying you have to know if your character's going to die, because if you know that going into it, sometimes people just don't really put that much into it, but by having that character development, really knowing what your background is, it'll definitely show, when you're watching the show, because, it's important. You know that character, you can become that character because now you know where you've been, I guess.
Yeah. It makes it just a little bit more interesting because someone can say something, the way you react to it, the audience could be, that's not how a normal person would actually do that. So what is it about them that makes them that? So it just gives that extra little layer of who they are, and kind of keeps something secret, but also keeps you wanting to know more about them.
Right.
And I would say probably with almost every episode, you find out more and more backstory about each character. So something that probably may not have fully made sense in the very first episode, by episode 3, you're like, that is why they acted that way. That's why they had that look when such and such happened with here. So.
Yeah, that's definitely true, because that happened to me when I watched the first bit. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a little confused, and then all of a sudden it picked up. I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense now. But that's the other tie-in. It's like, okay, now you got to see the next one to know why there are these little, bits of information, like why is this character connected to the other? Why does this happen? So it's, like I said, cliffhangers, like all these little Easter egg type of things. You're like, oh, I gotta go hunt for it and see what's in the next one. Okay, well, let's get into some of the, a little deeper into the characters. Eric, why don't you tell us a little more about your character?
Yeah, Lark, he is an immortal cursed assassin. So his lifespan has been maybe about 25, 50, 100 of individual lifespan. So he's done everything from being an artist to an accountant and everything in between. So he pretty much has a vast knowledge of pretty much how the world works. So
Lark, the accountant.
Lark,
I love that. Yeah, that's next season.
Yeah, next season. Dedicated to me doing some math.
We might be here a while. It might be a long season.
Hey, that's fine by me.
He does it shirtless, so it's okay.
I'm in. Hook, line, and sinker. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry,
Well, I mean,
I don't know, Avery's in the TI-82 having a grand time. But, sex instruments out for you. But, yeah, so he's pretty much trying to understand, he meets Eve in this first episode, and she's able to kind of connect with him on a level no one else has been able to. And over time, we see other curses come up and understand some are maybe a little more trivial, and then some are really dangerous to himself or people around him. So it's kind of, you learn a little bit more about what he's dealing with, and I guess on one hand you think, well, immortal, he's got to have a great, fun, happy life, but then you kind of see the flip side, that how many people that he's loved and lost and friends, so you kind of see like this really nice, shining part of immortality, but then see the darker side it holds too, so it's kind of, he's an interesting and very complex guy to play.
I can only imagine. I mean, it's, you know, what, you've 250 years you've had to kind of roam the earth, you know, I think.
There's one in particular curse that's lasted that long, so they...
Oh, okay, so I'm really off. So, okay, so you've been around for a long time, you know, and I think it's even with other, you know, immortals, they'll touch on and say, you know, hey, yeah, we've had a rough life. We've seen some people, you know, it's been some tragedy in my life. But I think with this show, you know, you kind of dig a little deeper into that part of immortality. It's not just this fun little ride where you can live any kind of life you want. It's, you kind of see the other side to it. And I think that's really cool.
Sure, and he accepts who he is, but at the same time, even though you accept something doesn't mean that you're always going to be smiling through it. So it kind of plays that, it's always that teetering the line where, sure, it's going to be immortal, but then all this stuff is going to continually happen. Like, you know, just want to give him a big hug and be like, it's okay, honey.
Nice little pat on the back.
We're gone.
You know, right, it is.
Oh, we love our characters. Actually, love our boys.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, well, why don't you give us a little more about your character?
Well, Kaz is immortal as well. He's been around for 2,000 some odd years. Kaz is a bit of the recluse. He was born electric, and while that might seem cool to everyone else, he absolutely hates it. He finds it to be a curse. It's prevented him from living any sort of normal life, because anytime his emotions spiral out of control, anytime he's not 100% concentrated on what he's doing, it can spark electricity. And he can hurt people, kill people very easily. So it's made him live more of a sheltered life. When we first run into Kaz, he's still mourning the love of his life, who he's lost and he wasn't able to save. And his only tie really to the real world anymore is the brother who he really doesn't care for. He doesn't want to have anything to do with, but his brother constantly calls him and harasses him with, you know, odd jobs of how he's gotten into trouble or how he needs help. And Kaz has, well, he's just kind of honor-bound to help. He feels responsible in some sort of way.
Right.
So that's kind of where I am. I'm not very happy. And I'm not very happy with other people.
Another one that needs a hug.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to even have a hug. Okay, I'll have a hug. No, I mean, Kaz is quite happy alone. He's quite happy to do his own thing by himself, and he's resigned himself to be and live that sort of life alone.
It's almost like, you know, you feel like the grumpy cat. You're like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah.
We did nickname the character Mr. Grumpy Pants.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's hilarious. Love it.
Team Grumpy Pants.
Yeah.
Well, how did you guys get the roles? I mean, obviously I know that you auditioned, but how was the audition process for this?
I guess, like they pretty much synthesized a quick, very brief synopsis of the show. But pretty much anything I knew about the character came from just the 1 or 2 pages of slides that we used to read to the character to see if were a good fit. And I guess personally, just for me, I read that and it was really, as an actor, you see so many different roles of film roles, TV, of web series, and everything between. And when I read this is a web series, but it doesn't look like a web series. It looks like a series you'd see on TV. Even in 2 pages, it was completely composed, and it had this nice, if it was a piece of music, it would just be in the flow. It was perfect. And I was like, this is 2 pages. I need to read this because I need to see the whole thing. So I was planning before I read for it. So, and I think originally I submitted for Kaz, and Zach originally submitted for Lark. So.
Yeah. And we looked at them and we're like, no.
Yeah, come to producer session, it was like, all right, well, they really like you for Kaz. And I'm like, well, that's great, because I actually really like Kaz more than Lark, so that works for me.
I like more Lark.
Yeah.
It's funny how it all works out, right?
It is.
So definitely the creative team behind it, saying like, this is the path.
Nice.
We're blessed with a fantastic cast. Yes. I still remember we had their pictures lined up, all their headshots, and we're like, oh my God! I mean, we chose the best for each character, and they're all so pretty, and we didn't choose the prettiest. We chose the ones who were best for the role, and they came in and they owned the roles. It was really fantastic. I think the very first time, Lisa and I heard anybody, an actor read the words we wrote, we were just, it was a moment. Yeah. It still is though, we go to set and they come in and, there'll be a scene that means a lot to Lisa and myself for various reasons, and they'll actually come in and just do it, and it's just, there are no words. It's beautiful. But yeah, we have a fantastic cast. Every one of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I was watching it, first of all, you could see how easy it was, the chemistry between everybody who interacted with each other. And then secondly, there's one character in particular, and she has this one line, and I busted out laughing so hard. I'm like, dude, that woman's a genius. The way she just.
Okay, you have to give a little more here. Which episode?
It was it's the first one at the bar.
Is it Raina, the bartender?
Yeah, she was coming outside, and Ulrich stops her, scares her. He has this one line.
Yeah. And actually, that was an ad-lib. She ad-libbed that.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. She's fantastic. We loved working with her.
I mean, that was like such a great line. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could just say something like that. And I'm pretty, I can be pretty, off the cuff and pretty good one-liners when it warrants. But that one, oh man, that tickled my funny bone right when I heard that. I was like,
I too. We get laughing all
it was so hard to hold it when she was. Because she's like, you want to add a little one? Yeah, go ahead. And we're sitting behind the camera, biting our hands to keep from laughing. And he
was awesome.
Serious in that scene.
I know, and that's why I was like, I mean, it was just her timing was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to say that, none of the other lines, there's these little, cute little one-liners, or, the way that, there's a little banter back and forth, the flirtation. It's just, it's fun. And it just kind of sucks you in, and you're like, what's going to happen next? So I got to tell you, you guys did a great job picking the cast, because, they can get the work out there, and they're pretty to look at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best of both worlds. It's like you can't lose.
No, we know how lucky we are. We really do. Mm-hmm.
Well, and we thank you for being so lucky because now we get to share in your luck. So I guess I have it written down because I know, Zach, you like, games. So I was just wondering, what's your favorite game that you're playing right now, or is there one that you just get sucked into anytime you have some time off? You're like, you know what? I just gotta chill and I gotta play this game.
Well, I built a new rig earlier this year, so I've been focusing most of my attention on PC games, and I have I guess the one that's really taking all my time right now is a split between Shadows of Mordor and Marvel Heroes. And then I'm also doing a little bit of the beta of Grim Dawn. So those are the three that I'm kind of split between, I guess you could say. So.
Nice. I actually just picked up Shadows of Mordor, and I've only played 5 minutes of it, but that was 5 minutes before I had to.
It's so great.
Podcast. It was difficult. I was like, oh man, crap! It's already time for the podcast. I'm like, okay, no games right now. And then I'm like, oh, and then Kamikaze's coming up, which we will discuss. But I was like, damn, I'm going to have no time now. I'm like, this is why I hate getting, and I don't know if, I'm more into the RPG games, so I'm extremely looking forward to the new Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, yeah. I have all the Dragon Ages before that and all the expansions to those, and I'm really looking forward to finally being able to play multiplayer. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you let me know. I'm multiplayer. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really hoping that it's good. And hey, you know what? Maybe we can get the rest of you on there. I mean, even if you don't really know what you're doing, we'll help you out.
Our world, we're going to be working on season 2.
Yeah.
Well, then you guys, that's fine. You have an
We'll play.
We'll force Eric into doing it. He's like, nah, maybe, I don't know.
Well, working on season 2 will probably be. I mean, it is work, but there's a lot of play involved.
Oh yeah.
We know we're in the zone when we are having a good time with the dialogue and laughing, and so yeah. So you guys reflect. We'll be playing with Kaz and Alaric and Eve and G and Jax and a few others that you'll meet later on in the season.
Well, that's kind of like a game, too.
Oh, it is. Oh, very much is.
Characters.
Create, have them do things. It's like, oh, can't believe they just did that. Yeah, it's fun.
And then they email us and say, oh, we have a surprise for you. And we're like, well, what is it? You'll see.
Yeah. They do know some of the stuff coming.
We do.
They do. In fact, we were getting quizzed before this started about what's going to happen.
Well, come on, you got to keep them on their toes. They can't know everything about their characters.
They know a lot, but they don't necessarily know what's coming.
Some nice little twists. What's going to happen next? It always leaves it to be fun.
We usually have up through season 3, at least parts we know various character arcs. So, yeah, so we can do this for a while as long as people want to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got at least me.
Okay.
I got one.
Yeah.
I know you're going to have a lot more than that. I know you're going to have a lot more. I will guarantee that.
Thank you.
Well, okay, so we talked about, one of Zach's little hobbies. I wouldn't, fun, relaxing time. What about you, Eric? Anything that you like to do in your spare time when you have a free time?
Yeah, I'm saving for the gym and all that kind of that lifestyle right there. But yeah, I've actually been working with a few screenwriters to bring possibly a few actually different books to possibly the big screen. So I've been pretty much doing that. I started writing with a few other friends for little skits and things like that. So as soon as we get those off the ground and those, I'm sure I'll share them with you and everyone else. But yeah, it's exciting. Just did my first young adult book cover for this really popular book with a young adult by Arthur Riles called Dancing with the Devil. So a few conventions, meeting some fans and everything. So it's actually kind of similar to Alaric, actually. There's a lot of between the two guys, which is kind of interesting.
Well, that's good. I mean, you're keeping yourself busy. I mean, it sounds like it could be a lot of fun to just kind of get your hands dirty in all of these different types of, things.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just the more the merrier, and the more keep me off the streets. That's good.
That's awesome. Well, I was wondering, if there was anything fun and interesting that happened on the set. Obviously, you guys get along really well. You can tell with the cast that everything pretty much flows, pretty.
Oh no!
Uh-oh. I'm getting bamboozled right there.
So I was wondering if maybe you would like to share something or even pranks that may have occurred on sets, maybe?
Well, our director, Jerry, he loves to prank. And there was a few actually. Since you've seen episode 2, there's a lot of creepy dolls.
Yeah.
He scared our DP. He scared a couple of the actors. One scene in particular in episode 3 actually takes place on this couch where we're sitting now, and he had someone hide behind the couch with one of the dolls, and during the scene, slowly bring it up, and so as they, I can't remember, who was it, you and?
No, it was.
Cole and Chelsea are on the couch, and this doll slowly came up, and I think, I don't remember if Chelsea or Cole, or I know there was jumping and I remember screaming, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Definitely startled them. There's been others.
Michael and Jerry got Stephanie at the end of episode 1.
Oh, the closet. That's right. It's actually in the trailer too. Stephanie is standing in a closet, and was it Michael jumped out and yelled at her or something?
Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah. So that's right. That was the first day of filming. So yeah, there's been a few. They Michael and Jerry team up and do things.
Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah, I do have to say, if I had to walk through a room with that many dolls, I'd be a little nervous. I'd be checking behind my back, like, okay, where's that damn thing? One of them's missing. But it definitely, it was a cool part, though.
Love to harass me with anything physical.
Yeah, right.
So like the first episode, I have to hold that yoga pose, the balancing yoga pose, for quite some time. And for no reason at all, Jerry would call action or take an especially long time to shoot, going up and down. Let's take another take. Let's do it again. Let's just do it again. One more time. Even though he wasn't rolling half the time. Just to see. So, and then he did the same thing later in one of the episodes. I have to sprint up a long driveway, which is straight uphill. And we did 4 or 5 takes of that, just for the hell of it. Yeah.
He just wanted to make sure that he had the right angle.
Yeah.
But yeah, we know this side looks better. This butt cheek's better. No, I'm just kidding. Although he's not even rolling, so I guess.
We do. It's not a negative set ever. Because we don't put up with that. It's all. We don't have to. I mean, everything is positive. We work hard, but we take, a little time to have fun, too.
Yeah, and like I said, just even watching the stuff, you can tell that there is that connection, that there's no prima donnas or divas, like you can, because you can tell those when you're watching other TV shows or movies. You always know there's one of them. You're like, that's the one. But you don't get that vibe with this, so it's really nice to see that you guys have that, like that family, type. It's a family community. You guys all get together, you work hard, but you have a good time doing it, and you all get along together. Unless if there's some hidden secret that you guys aren't telling me about.
So we're really lucky. I got to back in May we went to a convention in New Orleans, and we actually, the three of us went a few days early. So I got to hang out with these two in New Orleans for a few days to see in the city. It was great. I mean, you should say something neat. You figured it out, so I'm not sure what you said.
Oh no, I said lucky duck.
Oh, okay.
I did not say. Okay, that was really poor choice. That if you're reading, it was quack quack duck, not.
Gotcha. So it was. We had a great time. And I love hanging out with any of the cast. So it's, like I said, we're really lucky with our cast. No divas, great people, great actors, and they're always putting their best foot forward. It's fun.
Yeah, I was really lucky that I was able to. I actually met Eric first, and that was WonderCon. Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first appearance.
That was our very first
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Yep.
Was I? Yeah, I was dressed up. I was like, wait, was I in my costume that time? I was like, trying to remember which one.
You were Black Widow.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that I think every time I see you guys, I'm in that costume. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wait, what did I wear? Yeah. So I'm like, this is going to be a running gag. Every time I see you guys at a convention, I'm just going to pose with you in that costume. That's going to be my niche. But the great thing is that I went over, asked a few questions. I seriously could have sat there and chatted with you guys for hours. You were so nice, and just it made it so easy to kind of get to know what was going on. But I also got to know you guys a little bit, with the cons. But it was such a breath of fresh air because I had been walking and chatting with people, trying to meet new indie artists to talk about their comics or their artwork, and sometimes it was like pulling teeth. But with you guys being there for as long as you were just biggest smiles on your faces. We're just so like chatty about it. It was so nice. And so I just wanted to thank you guys for being so cool and allowing me to get to know you guys a little better in the show, and thanks for doing this too, because I like I said, I'm super excited.
Well, we are more than willing to do this whenever you'd like. Well, I probably shouldn't say that. We'd be happy to do this again in the future. This is fun.
Well, that would be awesome. So I guess if you guys want to just kind of share what other projects you're working on. I know, Lisa, you make jewelry, correct? Yeah. Did you make the rose?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to talk about that a little bit, that would be great.
Yeah, everybody in the show has at least one piece of jewelry. I think I've got Cass's bracelet, and I've got Laura's necklace.
You just ruined it.
Or I don't. Yeah, you need Laura, and I have Caitlin's necklace. So
yeah, no, I made all the jewelry in the show because I'm a designer, but we're also selling it to help pay for the whole show. So
yeah, we're hoping people will buy it so we can keep making the show.
Well, the jewelry is really cool. I mean, it's nice stuff. So what I'll do is when we're all done with this, I'll make sure that in the YouTube message that it does give the websites where you can purchase the jewelry. I definitely recommend everybody checking out it. It's some really nice stuff. And it goes towards helping out with the show. And I mean, it's some nice stuff. So really, you can't go wrong.
And it's all handmade too.
Yeah. See, I wish that you could see it a little better. All that blood, sweat, and tears you're sitting trying to make it all. So let's, I'll definitely make sure that the sites are there so everybody can take a look at it. But yeah, I love it. That rose necklace is really cool. Like, it's very bright and vibrant, and
Which one? There's a few roses. So there's this one.
The one that Jen's wearing.
Oh yeah. This one's this is probably the most popular piece we have. Yeah, I think so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and big,
This one too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Comic-Con.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, unfortunately it's a little difficult for everyone to see because you guys are a little far away, but like I said, we'll make sure that The site's up, and I can even post some stuff through Twitter and Google just to make sure that everybody can take a look at it, because like I said, it's some gorgeous stuff.
Thank you.
So anybody else want to share? What was that?
More stuff coming.
Yeah, a lot more.
Actually, we should be getting the T-shirt listed soon. There's a Necrolectric T-shirt. Lisa and I are going to be writing the book that goes along with the first season. And so all of that will be coming out over the next few months.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely something to look forward to as well. So, are you guys, Zach, Eric, well, I know, Eric, you kind of touched on some of the other things you were doing in your spare time, but any other, TV shows or cameos, anything that people can look for you on?
About 2 weeks ago, I filmed a guest spot on Young and the Restless, which should be playing later this November. And since then, I've reoccurred on 4 different episodes since then. So in November, you should be seeing me on and off on Young and the Restless character.
Nice.
So, I have no idea how long it'll last or what. It's a brief little small thing, but you can tune in and be like,
You know what'll happen? They'll kill your character.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Character, and then you'll come back as your twin brother, and then,
There we go.
and then come back as your son. That's the. I mean, isn't that how it always happens? It's.
Yeah. It's just.
It's in a coma.
I'm gonna start DVRing soap operas again. I'm like, oh, I miss the good old days where it was like, oh, okay, someone died. Oh, 2 weeks later they're back, but it's not really them, and nobody recognizes them. You're like, oh, okay, wow, that worked. The only times when it actually works, but okay, well, another, and this is just one of my silly questions that I like to ask. Depending on the holidays, I'll throw out something there. Since Halloween is right around the corner, first, will any of you be dressing up like anything? And secondly, what is the scariest movie or TV show that has just freaked you out to the point of no return?
I'll be dressing up. I just don't know what yet.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the one day of the year that I can wear anything in my wardrobe, no matter how ridiculous. And everyone just goes, oh, Halloween, rather than, oh, what is that? So I always wear something, but I'm also a special effects costumer. I put the eyes in the Spider-Man costume. So I have a few things that I made over the years, but I think this year it's just going to be something crazy. I don't think I'm going to do any of the characters or anything.
It always depends on how much time you have, right? You throw something together, but...
Yeah.
I
how
would
about you? Go ahead.
Clown. That's what I've always wanted to do the clown. Just always.
Yeah.
With, the happy face painted on and then the razor sharp teeth underneath.
Yeah.
So when you smile, it just freaks everyone out. You have the little horn and you can chase people around. See, this one is scared. You guys are like scary movies or scary things.
It could be a black screen with scary music and be like, nope. No. In my imagination, it could. Yeah, if I look at a wall long enough, I'll have to leave the room.
I need to be around you when there's scary stuff going on, because I'm the a-hole that sits there and walks behind people in the scary haunted mazes, and I wait till it's dark enough, and then I scream bloody murder. Just freak the shit out of people. They just start running, beelining it to the exit. I am that jerk. So.
I can relate. I'm always the one who gives the scares, the names of the people in my group, so they can come up behind and start whispering their name and chasing around. So yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one, because we actually went to Universal Studios, and you know how they have that haunted Hollywood, it's before it's Halloween. They just have that montage of haunted stuff or from scary movies and things like that, Dracula, and but they have this little walkthrough that you can go, and it's not, to me, it's not scary. I don't get scared.
Me at once.
I really don't. But there was this poor girl that was yipping every 5 seconds, and they have. Okay, we'll say her name was Eric. And Eric was in front of me, and everything, like, they have fishing wire that's hanging from the ceiling, and you walk through it, and you just hear this, like, real, like, high-pitched scream, grabbing onto her boyfriend. And so finally, we're in this one spot, and I'm literally right behind her. And I go, hey, should I scream? They go, yeah, you should. And I was right near her. She yelled so loud. She goes, oh, my God, I think I peed my pants. I'm like, oh, God, now I feel really bad.
Best reaction ever.
I felt so bad, but at the same time, I was dying. She goes, why did you do that? I'm like, I don't know.
Because it was funny.
Yeah, it really was. And then we did some press junket for, there's like a paintball place, and now I'm totally jacking up the name, up near when we were at the Long Beach Comic-Con, so in Long Beach, and they did this like Halloween horror maze, and you could use airsoft guns and shoot zombies. Like, they had the whole shebang. It was the coolest thing ever. I actually stapled money to some guy's side because he was like one of those freak show kind of people. So it was like all out there, everything you could possibly imagine. And two of the people that, so my co-podcaster's wife, and then one of the people from Fanboy Nation, deathly afraid of anything, their own shadow. And so going in with this big guy, I'm talking like real tall, big, and just walking through, I had to actually cover myself like this because I thought he was going to punch me. Like, he got scared and he just flailed. Legs, arms, everything. I'm like, someone's getting a black eye.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, I will try not to sneak up on you, Eric, next time I see you, because that would, although I probably would laugh. I'll try not to, though.
Wow.
Now that I know, see, that's a bad thing. You could have told me.
See, now you can hide behind the booth,
I know,
and you can reach through from behind and grab his foot while he's sitting in the chair. I mean, there's so many ideas we can do.
Well, I'm going to let it slip out, but I thought about climbing under the table and then just, like, grabbing his leg, you know, like the monster that grabs the ankles.
I can show you
That's the Achilles heel.
and then you can hide under his car. And when he goes and he leaves at night, you can just, you know, you can put on a monster hand and just grab his foot and hear him squeal.
You know he's going to have nightmares now. Look at his face. He's turning a little pale. We should probably change the subject.
I like this game.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Laughing at your expense. But it is really, my friend is that way too, and any chance I get, I'm mean. I'm a horrible human being, but it's just too much fun. I can't help it.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to hell in a handbasket on a slip and slide, but, you know, it'll be worth it. It'll be totally worth it. So I take it, Eric, no scary movies at all?
No, I like Christmas stuff. Like, that's my thing.
You know, there are some scary Christmas movies out there, too, so you better be careful.
Just on that Nightmare Before Christmas, I was good with that, so.
Right. Oh, man. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you. I needed that laugh.
Yeah.
So I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up. Is there anything else you guys want to share? I know you said new tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Kamikaze.
Yes, Kamikaze. That's what it was. See, I knew. That's why I said it earlier. Knew you
Yeah.
So please go forth. Explain.
We are premiering at Kamikaze. It's very exciting.
Yay!
So that would be November 1st, 11 a.m. We will be at Kamikaze Room. I do not remember the room number off the top of my head.
304?
Yeah, I can't.
Something.
It's something, yeah. But we're in the guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are 11 a.m. You can come in and see the first episode with the cast. All the five leads will be there, as well as Lisa, myself, and our director, Jerry. We'll be on the panel afterwards doing the Q&A. So we really hope people will show up, and we won't be alone in the room watching it. Although we will be having the best time.
Yeah.
So we want everybody to come out, have fun with us, ask us questions, see the episode, shout us up.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited. I was so glad to hear that you guys were going to actually get, to do the panel and kind of show everything that's, the first episode. So that'll be really exciting. I will be there because I'm going to take photos and I'm going to blog about it. So I'm very excited about that. We'll take lots and lots of pictures. We may even do video, and then obviously, they don't really want you doing it during the time of the video playing, even though you're showing it, but still, we'll make sure that, anything that's being done on the panel, so for people who can't get to Kamikaze, which if you are in the Southern California area, even Northern California, it's not that far, drive down there, go to it, it's cheap. The hotels really aren't that expensive around there either. I mean, you can sleep in a tent outside, seriously, just go. And Kamikazes, it's always fun, everybody's super cool, so go have a good time, and then you can check out this, panel with Necrolectric and the cast and just have a good old time. Why not? 11 a.m.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yes. What was that?
We're going to have fun.
Yes. Isn't that what it's all about? Having fun.
I know Lisa and I will be walking around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah. So yeah. We'll be walking around. Stop us, say hi. Well, we love chatting with people, as you can tell.
Well, it was funny because I was actually, I was telling a lot of my friends and family members that this was happening, and that I had called Jen to kind of get a little bit of insight of what we should speak about and just kind of get things. Sometimes going by email, it's just things get lost. So I was like, let's talk. That conversation went on for like over an hour, and I think maybe 5 or 10 minutes of it was you and I hashing out everything, and then the rest of it was just bullshit. It was like it was the best, but it was so much fun. It was the best conversation. I was like, dude, this is great. So yes, if you see them, chat with them. It's a lot of fun. Now, are you guys going to have a booth as well, or is it just the panel?
No, just the panel, but we're going to be walking around talking to people, so come by, say hi. This is our last convention that we're officially signed up for, but we're looking at other ones for the future. This will be probably the last one for at least this year, and then we're looking for what we're going to do next year.
Nice. And the great
what is he hiding? He's like, look, this is what we're going to be doing next year.
I was like, I can't read the palm. I'm like, I'm not a palm reader. I don't know what's going on there then. But the great thing about the panel too is that since not that I am not happy at all for just having the 4 of you, but people can actually get to see the rest of the cast, for those of them who will be there. So, it's kind of another way of being able to, see everybody, ask some questions, get to learn a little more about everybody. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it will. We're really looking forward to it. I'm actually a little sad it's right after Halloween because I've got this big event at my brother's house on Halloween night. We build his front yard we turn it into a haunted house. And we actually build it up, and the big thing that we just started doing last year, and I am making myself leave early so I have a full night's sleep for the panel on Saturday. Otherwise, I'll be jumped.
Eric, are you going? I'm just kidding.
I'll be watching Christmas inside with the kids.
You're going to be hiding behind the little 5-year-old pushing him first.
I'll be at the coordinator I can see over.
Actually, Eric, if you've never seen it, I highly recommend. It's Laurel and Hardy's Babes in Toyland. March of the Wooden Soldiers, actually. Sorry.
Okay.
So it is a Christmas movie. It's Laurel and Hardy, so there's comedy. It's got bogeymen. Don't worry, they're not scary. But it's, they always show it during Christmas time. So, March of the Wooden Soldiers, you've got all these, guys dressed up as wooden soldiers. It's the coolest thing ever. So I recommend that. That'll put a smile on your face. No scary stuff. So, but no, that's one of my favorites. I grew up with that. My grandfather and I would watch that when I was little, right around Christmas. So, one of my favorites. Well, I I think we're good to go. Did we cover everything? I want to make sure we got everything. If you guys want to plug Twitter, Facebook, we've got necrolectric.com, and like I said, I will actually be posting all the links to the YouTube message as well. So
Twitter is at Necrolectric. Facebook, just search for, I think it's facebook.com/Necrolectric. Is it Necrolectric Series? No, it's YouTube. YouTube is www.youtube.com/Necrolectric Series. Facebook is just Necrolectric. Instagram is just Necrolectric. And you can find the links to all those on our website, which is necrolectric.com. So
it's a lot to say.
Necrolectric multiple times is not. It's a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yes, definitely. And then Twitter for Eric and Zach. I always mess them up, so.
Mine is Zach Bostrom, or is it Z Bostrom?
No, Z Bostrom on Twitter.
Z Bostrom. See, here we go.
That's why I didn't say it.
Actually, you know what? You can get all of their social media on the Necrolectric website. It's on the characters page, so necrolectric.com/characters. And there's beneath each little character blurb is a bio for them and their social media.
Yeah.
So
Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
All those.
Okay, then you guys don't have to try to remember.
Yeah,
I think what underscore Eric or I don't know.
Lowercase, put on a number.
Underscores.
Underscores. The Eric Carpenter.
I remember trying to find, after, because I was trying to post all the photos from WonderCon. I'm like, okay, he has such, it's Eric and it's Carpenter. So I'm like, oh my gosh, where is the name? Which one is it? I'm like, oh wait, there's this picture. Like I had to look for the photos. I'm like, okay, don't make it easy. But, well, like I said, I'm really excited. Is it airing November 4th? Is that what we're...
The first episode airs. It'll go up sometime in the morning. Probably around, I'm going to guess around 9 a.m. And then second episode goes up 1 week later, November 11th, third on November 18th, and then second half of the season will be in early 2015.
Nice. Well, like I said, I am super stoked. I can't wait. I need more. And I can't wait to see what's happening next. So I will see you guys in a few days at Kamikaze.
Saturday.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, you guys take care, and everybody, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Nicola. Bye.